we've seen a couple of times step in when they happen to need a fifth. So I would believe he's going to play as a support role in place of Love here. So a little unfortunate, but, is what it is. And Complexity, I'm sure, still going to feel fairly confident of their chances here. Joined by Near once again as my co-caster. So welcome back, Near, after a little bit of a break there. Are you ready? You ready for a good series here?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's gonna be interesting. This was the last cycles, I think. We saw these teams clash twice. It might happen again here, and the SPMG has something to say about it. But it's gonna be interesting to see here.
Yeah, these two teams are definitely kind of forming that somewhat elite at the top right now of the teams. Obviously, Complexity, they're right now kind of the top dogs, winning 3 to the 5 cycles in the most recent one. But yeah, Sync definitely is really showing that they belong up there as well. So, but it has been Complexity coming out on top for the most part. So yeah, as you point out, we'll see if that kind of continues here or not. So, all right, we got draft underway here. As he says, "Oh crap!" Something tells me the
He's
love
back, I
just
guess.
logged back on. Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
never mind.
okay. No, never mind.
Never mind, we're good. We got the draft here. Speaking of that, so let's take a look. We have Midas, Wild Soul, Parasite, and Behemoth are the bands. Warbeast first picked into Tundra, Hellbringer into Glacius, and there's the Sandwraith coming out now. So again, Sandwraith getting a lot of love here. Probusk picked the last series, and unfortunately came out on the losing end, so it's not like oh my god, you picked this hero and he wins you games 100% by any means, but the mock change again. It definitely buffed the hero, so Sync's going to run with it here.
Yeah.
There's Tempest.
Also, looks like comfortable heroes here on the Hellborn side as well. Sync's lineup definitely looks like the more active one, whereas Tundra usually, can also be active, but more pick-off oriented, whereas Sync. I mean, it's interesting because Sandwraith has like huge gank potential. Hellbringer has that huge team fight ultis. Warbeast wants to split push a bit. Tundra wants to find ganks, and Tempest usually farms a lot and can push. So a little bit of everything on both sides. I would have to readjust my statement there.
Yeah. A little bit of everything. So that's usually the sign of a good draft overall. So on either side, yeah, prioritizing that Tundra, a little interesting there from Complexity, but at the same time, they have been running it again, and they
It's been running it quite a lot, I think.
They have, yeah.
Usually in the offlaners, or at least Oscar's playing it. Also nerfs whoever jungles there. If it's Parasite, he puts that bird onto the right hard camp all the time, and just blocks the spawn without even having a ward there. So he can do a lot of nuisance, annoying things with that, and also keeps a lot of, the bird we stated all the time is very powerful. So I have to see how he does here, if it is gonna be him playing it.
That would be my guess, but yeah, it's not guaranteed here. We see the bands, Silhouette, Magnus, Magebane, Moira, Salamon, and Lodestone. So Zlapt respecting several carries here to take away from Formless, as we notice, even that Salamon here. Now they're going to go with their fourth pick. They got their own carry, of course, looking for... Well, that's kind of the interesting thing, I guess, of the Warbeast, wherever he ends up. Zlap does have plenty of history playing it in the jungle. So, but so does Zibe and Suicide. So yeah, you never really know with these guys where that Warbeast is going to end up.
Yep.
And they probably
Usually, the Hellbringer is usually in the hands of Zipper. He has a ton of macro management. He's really good at that. Sandwraith, of course, on Haxorn, and then I'm assuming it's going to be Slap playing the Warbeast. He loves to play those farming heroes as well. Not that he plays them all the time, but he is very comfortable with them and likes to do so. Luna coming out. Svenny has had a ton of good Luna games as of late, so not too surprised by that pick.
Yeah, going up the support option there, and if Love was here for Complexity, that would be something that they would look at as well, I'm sure. But nope, Sync will get it instead. Madman coming out for Complexity. Now again, that's not. It's a hero that we do see on them from time to time, but actually that probably means Tundra is going to be in Fuzzy Sloth's hand then, unless they were in Madman carry, which I guess they still could do here.
Yeah, it's an option actually. It could also be Tundra mid, Madman offlane. I believe it's still Tundra offlane, and then the Madman as a carry, but It's interesting to pick the hero now, but it doesn't give too much away. It can be anything. You can lane it anywhere you want. Could still be mid, Tundra offlane, and you'll pick another carry. That's also an option. So they have a lot of options available for them. I've said that word a lot here, but they really have. It's a good draft so far.
Yeah. Absolutely. Of course, you'd expect that here with the experience and everything that they have, but yeah, that's where that could be a strong pick, no doubt. It's just not obvious where it's going to end up. Kraken coming out. Kraken's an interesting one, I feel like. You know, a hero that really kind of hasn't been a popular one. Kind of died off a little bit, but he's still a strong one, and Sync's going to like running it here.
I think the reason we don't see it a lot more than we do is because it's hard to kill with the hero before it's level 6 or before it has a portal key. If you come to gank for it, it's hard to hit that charge because you have to walk up. It's not like you have a magma stun, you blink onto them, kinda. So it's harder to get kills with the hero in the lane. But as soon as you have the portal key, I think the hero is just very, very strong. Of course, in the lane it farms a lot with the splash. It always gets the farm that it needs usually, especially in 1-1 matchups. So it's still a strong hero, and the ultimate, of course, is very strong as well. So it's just the whole idea of how are you able to kill in the lane that's hard to execute with the hero. That's why you don't see this as often as other heroes initiating heroes.
Interesting there with that final pick, Oogie, by the way. So we see how things kind of swap up right there, and actually, Fuzzy Sloth is going to end up playing the Madman here. I gotta say, that is not typical. And especially if he's going to go suicide. And it almost looks like that he's going to be headed towards the long lane here with how they're setting it up. So definitely pretty unique here from Complexity.
Yeah. Definitely is. Sometimes he's been laning offlane, as what I've been seeing, but that's usually with the Laugh there, and as a Revenant or something, that he's been playing then they dual lane with some kind of kill lane. But I haven't seen him do it like this on a Madman, just plain suicide. And Oscar is going mid on to the Tundra here. I guess the idea is that they, honestly, they need one hero to make plays for them, and it's not going to be Madman, it's not going to be Oogie. Tempest is always going to get the farm in the jungles and can have an impact, but they need Tundra to have an impact early on to set up kills, to depush, to basically do a lot of things because they don't have a lot of initiators and stun heroes. It has to be Tundra, so I guess they prioritize a bit of farm onto him, and Oscar just plays it so well. So he's going to be playing instead of Fuzzy Sloth, and then Fuzzy's going to be, as a result, into the offlane. Not that he is going to do bad, of course, but I just think that they need a lot of farm onto the Tundra to be able to compete in the early to mid-game stage.
Yeah. I'm going to be looking to get that here again. Oscar playing it in that middle role. You see Fuzzy Sloth down here. He's going to get a ward of sight down, actually. Kind of interesting right there. He went forward, acted like he was placing to the block the camp, perhaps. Yeah. But he places it behind himself.
It's a very smart play.
I wonder... See, the thing is, though, they're gonna see that. So maybe he was banking on that they would have tried to counter it initially, but obviously they don't even have a rev ward on them, actually, so they're gonna realize that it's not blocked here.
Yeah. It's not blocked for sure, but they don't know if, he put the ward on the left side of the camp to see War Beast or on the right side, so his ward should probably be uncountered.
Yeah, so ultimately, good play there, as he's having some trouble, though, early on.
Yeah. We've also been thinking a lot about Madman in our team as well, mainly because of this, that you can always get last hits with the Q into the offlane here. And you can see he only has 300 gold. All he needs is 600. He can get a bottle, and he can do the same thing again. Aluna is trying to box him out, but it's really hard to do, honestly. Also because he can stay on the lane here. And Sandriff is a weak laner. He doesn't really zone people a lot, so he should be able to do quite well here.
Meanwhile, top lane, you saw Glacius doing a pretty good job of boxing out the Kraken up here. Talking about that early game presence of Kraken, and he's having a little bit of a struggle here early on.
Yeah. Offlane Kraken is usually not where you want to be, but of course Hillbringer is going to be mid. So doing a lot of pressure on Tundra here, actually. He's kind of dominating, or should be here. If he keeps the lane control where it is, it's going to be really rough for Tundra.
How's it looking so far? I mean, it's still very early on, so I can't look too much into that. But 7-3 versus a 3-0 Tundra. So, yeah, Zibe is most certainly having pretty good control of this middle matchup here. And yeah, kind of interesting the fact that Zibe playing the Hellbringer is middle. And Macera, of course, is in the Suicide. Yeah, so we've seen a couple of cases today of typical mid players, as of late at least, kind of playing Suicide instead. But yeah, happens to be the case here. And I mean, it's safer complexity for that matter. With Fuzzy Sloth playing long lane, so I don't know, just something about today with middles playing Suicide instead.
Slap is gonna find a haste rune down here, so he's.
Oh my gosh! Wow, yeah, Madman's gonna get the kill. Actually, he is gonna fall in response though, so it is gonna be a 1-for-1. But kind of caught, I really caught that the whole way through. It's just simply Madman made a point that, you know what, he's gonna stay there and fight that Aluna that was trying to harass him, and eventually got the Bloodlust first. So that's kind of an iffy spot in my opinion, because he did give up the kill to Sandwraith, so that's not good. But he did get the Bloodlust at the same time.
I think when you get a Bloodlust like that and you're Madman, I think it's honestly, it's alright. It's fine to do, especially also because he needs a bit of farm himself to have an impact onto this game. So he does trade off, of course, but I can't really tell if it's coming out ahead or not, or it's kind of even or whatever. I think it's alright because he boosts himself, he also boosts Sandrift though. He did buy his bottle right there, and Glacius has now had to buy a TP on him so he could TP down there. So in that case, it really nerfs the Glacius. He's really gonna suffer a lot in this game, I think, because of that. Sandrift's gonna have an earlier mark, and Glacius is gonna die every time.
Yeah, we know, especially with that new mock, what that can do. Haxor is having a little bit of trouble here against Madman. Going to be forced back and eventually goes back to the tower here. Actually does have a bottle on him, as we see, so going to be able to regen pretty effectively. So does Madman, for that matter. But yeah, looking at the supports, you do see Glacius. He's still level 1, so yeah, he was boxing out Kraken pretty well, but he's been spending a lot of time doing that and not so much maybe, you know, getting the pole camp, getting his own experience. I mean, you look at Aluna, who's level 4, so Glacius going to want to get those levels here coming up.
He does have a triple stack here, so I'm assuming. Oh, it's kind of weird pull there.
Wait, yeah.
Hopefully it works out for him. Really has to.
Okay, he's got it. Whew.
Yeah, he got it.
I was a little worried.
It's good.
Good.
So
yeah.
you can get level 3 from that if it dies, so that should be fine. If all of it dies, of course, there's a Wolf Commander, so it probably won't. So he has to pull twice. But that should give him level 3, and hopefully they don't need him elsewhere on the map right now. As Kraken is setting up mid.
Oh, he just charged in too. Tundra might be in trouble. Man, he reacted right away, though. He splits up with the illusions. It doesn't matter. Macera able to charge in himself and eventually secure the kill onto Oscar. So, yeah, you could tell Oscar he realized it, but by the time he did, it was just a little too late there in that mid also. Good setup from Kraken and being useful elsewhere, of course.
Yeah. It's usually you don't see offlane Krakens maxing that splash right away. Sometimes you go QW, but he only had this from number charge and 2 levels in E. I guess it's to also have a presence versus the Glacius up top, you know, trying to hit him once and then it does 100 damage compared to Glacius hitting him 3 times or 4 times to deal 100, so.
How's Sandwraith doing down here? 380 gold per minute, yeah, has that kill he's working off of, so. Yeah, as expected, doing pretty good.
He's doing fine. Fuzzy's also doing alright. 230 GPM is quite acceptable here. Also, he did get the Bloodlust, but 13 creep kills, it's alright here. So, they really have to kill him one more time if they can.
Oh, right as you say that, Madman in trouble. And I don't think he's getting away from this one. I was going to say he might go for the turn kill, but no, he even tried to keep evading. But again, with the dust on him, there really was no chance for him to actually escape right there. So a good kill onto him. And now they're going to start pulling even more ahead. So yeah, Fuzzy Sloth not doing as well anymore.
Nope.
Nice top tower kill though.
Yeah, what you got uses the time to push the top tower here with the Oogie, so at least they're having a really good time. The other 2 lanes are kind of struggling, but as we've seen in complexity before, they keep their cool and they find a way to try and get back into the game on the other heroes, try and force the right fights they want to take, so they're really good at that.
Now, Oogie is interesting, especially when we talk about the new items. Now, this is one I almost expect to see, honestly, Jade Spire. It really feels like if there's an item or a hero that this item was made for, it's definitely Oogie.
Yeah.
That comes to mind, so.
I haven't watched the other games that we've been playing out here throughout the week, but if he managed to get it, I want to see the impact here in a competitive game of that item, like how good it actually is, if it's gonna make the difference between a one fight or not. So it's gonna be really fun to see. Definitely looking forward to a late game if we get there.
Yeah, no, this is going to be something here with the Gnome's Wisdom now. You know, the magic armor that you get from that now, too. So, yeah, we're going to get a pretty good idea, maybe, of the new Gnomes and eventually that Jade Spire of how it looks. Now, initially, he does get that Ring of Sorcery. But, again, Formless especially, even before all these changes, like Gnome's Wisdom was something we saw on him usually. Middle lane, Tundra. Malphus being used in everything practically. Is it even going to be enough, though? I don't know. Hellhounds are going to chase. One more auto attack. Oh my god, the regen barely! And they kill the Hellhounds to keep him alive. Well played right there. Good team support coming out. Oh, Madman, though. Okay, he is going to live. Nearly died to the dots. We're not done just yet, though. Look at this, though. Oogie coming back in. Samwraith got greedy right there, trying to chase down him. Oh, that's not enough, though. The Tarquake is not enough from Formless. He misses that last one, and in the end, Samwraith will survive. Living life on the edge, man. Both these teams right here.
Yeah, so many clutch plays. Foss is not surviving. Oh, it's not done yet, though.
And I think we're going to finally see our first kill this exchange here. Yep, Aluna will go down. So they being Complexity does come out with something of it in the end, but we're not done just yet. Hellbringer, he's going to get got inside. He goes out, but a big release of Kraken coming out from Asera. Takes out Tundra. Going to chase after Oogie now. But the rest of the team was going elsewhere. You see Samwraith now trying to come to chase Oogie, but the Desert Curse is not going to be enough. And that'll be it.
Oh, interesting exchange there. Down with the Sandwave there, I think Fuzzy survives the Q there, which was kind of randomly placed, I think, from Sandwave towards the creep pull. Has 48 HP, and then Haxman dodges two of the Tarquakes from Formless and survives as a result. So huge plays from both sides.
Glacius. He's feeling those Hellhounds right there, but actually is going to live as they kill them off once again with a little bit of team support right there. But yeah, definitely both sides definitely looking pretty impressive there throughout that fight and helping keep another one alive there. One another alive, that is, and it's all the long run. So back to farming, though, and Oogie's liking that. 470 gold per minute. He's got 1,000 gold saved up more now, so expecting probably that Gnome's Wisdom to be finished here in the near future. I guess with that. I know people were, so we were talking about Grimoire on Doctor, and we did see it on him. Okay, he goes close on. Okay, so he's actually going to be going the Icon here still.
That actually took quite some nerfs, I think. You only get one charge from each kill that you get, so.
Huh.
So I'm not sure if that's still the best. If it's still the same thing if you can get it rolling. Oh, Glacius.
Wait, you as Glacius? Yeah, he's dead. And we'll finish him off. So what were you saying? You only get one charge now?
Yeah, instead of two.
Are you sure? Because I'm looking at the changes right here. It doesn't say anything about that.
It doesn't?
Well,
at least I think I played a couple games. Well, that was last week, I think, where you only got one charge.
Huh.
Well, that was a couple days ago, I think. We'll have to wait and see when it happens here, because I'm pretty sure that...
That would be a pretty big nerf.
Okay, maybe I'm mistaking.
Well,
that's
so
what I thought I
yeah,
saw.
well, what I'm reading right here is that the max mana decreased by 50, and then the health regen from nearby enemy heroes dying reduced from 20 to 10. So that buff that you get when somebody dies around you was decreased as far as the health side of thing goes. But the mana regen stays the same. So as far as the patch notes, that's all it says. So I don't know if that maybe was forgotten in the patch notes or something, but
okay, yeah. maybe I'm mistaken. Well, I think we'll have to wait and see until he finishes it and the kill happens here. But I'm pretty sure though, it's only one charge.
I mean, because that would be a big nerf. That would be.
Yep.
And I would agree there for sure that would be interesting to see it then.
Snap is scouting them out here on the triple ancients, which Oogie is kind of grabbing here. But doesn't look like he wants to make a play on that. Srenia snipes too. Yeah.
See, Tundra has got the Blood Chalice, the Striders here, so Oscar, trying to get that active start. You talked about going to need him to have a successful start. Well, only 230 gold per minute, unfortunately, so not going necessarily as planned here. For complexity, but gonna make do with what they got. Fuzzy Sloth takes over the top lane and farm a little bit, and get intrigued to see where he goes now. He's definitely kind of an interesting hero where maybe with these item changes could possibly see a little bit different. I mean, the Brutalizer, we just talked about how the agility no longer a part of it, so I still think it could be a very valuable item on him, but...
Yeah, for sure. It's still a strong item. I'm not really sure if it's first item you go for. Might not be. But we'll have to see what he does here. Something like a Nullfire is also an option when you're playing against Hellbringer. So I would like to see that first on a Madman. And then he could work his way towards Shrunken Head or the Brutalizer, or whatever he feels like he needs at that time.
Tempest right here, 1,500 plus gold saved up, so we'll see what you got. I mean, you look at this Legion team, it is a pretty tough team to go up against. I don't know if we're really stressing that enough, but you got the obvious one in Hellbringer, but then Kraken, of course, great for it as well. So it is going to be a tough game to get successful Elemental Voids off here.
Yeah.
Tempest. Oh, bottom. There should be a kill on Sand Wraith.
Yeah. I was about to say that Slapped is really going risky here. His entire jungle was farmed, and then he goes to enemy jungle here. Or enemy H stack, and it's where Sandrift actually dies, so... Bit risky, but they were planning on killing Sandrift there.
Yeah, that's a little risky, but he does stay alive and goes back to his own jungle net to farm. But yeah, it's unfortunate that Haxorn dropping right there, because I mean, he is farming
really
well, but...
Yeah. I think he was about 400 or something before the death there, and almost has that sword, so if he didn't die there and got those last 400, he would have been able to finish the sword at least.
You see Glacius roaming around. He's going to place down a ward of sight here. He's going to see Warbeast, who actually... they sold it, though, so I think that might have been a misclick there. Yeah, I saw the purchase of a Brutalizer. I mean, there's no way he had enough gold for a full Brutalizer here. But maybe an idea of what to expect on him. They're steam boots, okay. And they're finished for the time being. You see the icon finished. There's the bottom tower.
Actually got that for free. No heroes even there, so it's good for complexity. They have all the outer towers except for the mid one right now, and the top tower is taking some heavy pressure. And the Madman has been able to recover up here, 300 TPM. He has a Mighty Blade now, so he looks like he's gonna go Shrunken or Brutalizer first item here. I still would have liked to see the Nullfire. That's 2,000 swing of complexity, so it's actually a lot of gold boost for them at this time of the game.
So I do want to go with what you were saying earlier. You're right. It does only give one charge on the icon. He only has one charge currently. And even reading the text on it, it says you just get a charge. So, yeah, that's interesting how that's not in the patch notes.
I'm not sure that it's changed in the sense that one charge does as much as two charges in the past or something. I haven't really followed that. I just noticed that you get one charge only. So
yeah, no, that's interesting because, see, I think it still does the same amount of regen. So, and if that's the case, again, that's a pretty big nerf. On it, honestly. I mean, you're getting one less charge, obviously, every single kill, so yeah, you just think of that right there. Because, yeah, again, nothing in the patch notes, unless I'm just missing something, but I don't think I am, so. So, yeah, you could argue that it actually isn't that good, so as you were bringing up earlier, anymore.
Still has that immediate regen after you get that kill, I think, which is honestly the most powerful thing for the item, so that's still there. I think Warbeast just pointed out there as Tempest blinked on him, so that was really close from Slapped getting gone on there, on the bird. So he escapes, that's good for them. And they can keep on farming. I don't think they want to take any kind of fight before he's sent past that mark.
Oh no, this is a greedy team on the Legion side, excuse me, no doubt, Sync, with the Sand Wraith and the Warbeast. They want to avoid for sure.
Yeah. This is usually what happens when one team picks Sugi. The enemy team just dodges them for like 30 minutes or however long they need to get the items they need to deal with him. Because right now he's just so strong. And they also have a Tempest, so... Yeah.
Down goes the bottom tower. You see Tempest going to port to the top lane. No, that was somebody else. Oogie ports up here as they were pushing it in now. Is Sanka going to fall back though, realizing that Oogie's
Can
here,
just
and
TP mid here with a Whale Rod and Blink ready, so they might make a play here.
we're gonna
But
try.
Legion size falling back already, so it's probably not gonna happen. But at least both teams are kind of looking for something.
How about Tundra going right into that Shrunken for his first item?
Oh, he has that already, huh?
Yeah. It's interesting first item choice on a Tundra.
Definitely is. If you have that farm, usually something like a puzzle box is something you want. I mean, he struggled a lot, and I guess all those tower kills helps with the GPM, but I mean, it's looking pretty good for him right now. 384.
So, I mean, but I'm looking at this Legion side, and it doesn't scream like they need Shrunken. Because now the interesting thing with the Mock, it is true damage, but it will be prevented by Shrunken Head. The effect of it is magic. So, to be fair, it will mitigate the Mock of Brilliance damage from happening. By mitigate, I mean flat out
Wait,
making it.
are you sure?
100%
True damage
sure,
doesn't
yeah.
that go through?
So
okay, you're 100% sure.
Yeah, that's how it works. It explains that pretty well in the tooltip of it and the change. The aura damage type is magic.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Or no. the aura damage type is true, but the aura effect itself is magic. So that's how it's.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, Shrunken will prevent the damage from actually happening.
Right.
Onto
It should still be like that. It would be. They don't need to buff that more, I think. So yeah, it's still the same as before. It just does true damage onto people that are not magic immune.
Yeah.
So magic armor doesn't help. I think that's the general idea.
Correct.
Something
yeah,
like Devourer, it hurts more.
Yeah. So the magic reduction would not do anything though. Conqueror being attempted there. You see the top tower going down, and Sync may even kind of have an idea that this is happening, but again, they're on the side of we want to avoid right now. So, in fact, the Hellhound will confirm that, but by the time it does, it's going to be a little too late. Unless it's just one Hellhound. He's going to try to snipe it here.
Snipe that or kill the token. Because sometimes teams,
yeah.
they run around a bit. Oh, they put the effort down. Okay.
Well, so much for that attempt.
They tried both. Serena tried to snipe the killers as well, so it's a good attempt, something you should do. Sometimes it actually works out if teams are sloppy, or if they just don't have that rev void and they have to kill Conquer right now or something.
Yeah, we've seen it before.
Good attempt, not successful, yeah.
And there's like no downside for Sync, so it's like, why? Yeah, well, you might as well
that's right.
go for it. But comes up short, and Oogie 3,700 gold saved up, so he's actually not going the gnomes. I gotta say, I am a little surprised at that, considering he usually even did that before this patch. But he's insisting. What is he gonna go?
Maybe he's saving for a sheep stick since he has that much gold. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be that.
Okay. Yep.
Frostfield Plate was also something we saw on Oogie before. I don't think that new item is going to be picked up on him because it doesn't increase his mana pool as it did before and gives him armor. But it was actually pretty good on Oogie, that item before. Frostfield Plate, because usually you need some kind of armor to stand up to whatever auto attack damage hero that they have on the other side. And it also gave you that intelligence, so he has to find some armor somehow. And I guess the Gnome's Wisdom is a pretty good item to get for that, at least. It gives a little bit.
What's going on up here? It looks like Tempest actually falling, and yep, he will go down. Malphus used to help secure that kill. Madman, though, in response, looking to make something happen. He's got a Shrunken Head, but he was by himself at that point, so.
I think they're buying these Shrunken Heads a little bit too early, in my opinion. Getting some other damage item wouldn't be too bad.
Actually, Madman, he's going to be forced to use it right there. They kept going on to him. You saw Glacius get sniped out. So this is 5 versus 3. Yet Sync is actually running right here. You know, it really goes to show you how worried they are of this Oogie in a 5 versus 3 circumstance.
Yeah. So Caster's Curse there, the Shrunken Head saved him, but still, they can't really kill that much, or as easy with those Shrunken Heads. They don't kill people, so.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there for sure. I mean, Shrunken, stating the obvious somewhat, but it's an item where you get it to make fights happen. And Sync's made a good point of not making fights happen. They've been avoiding quite a bit, so it does seem a little out of place this early on.
Sure. So it's definitely benefiting Sync because they want to farm more for sure. Try and get the kills they can with Sandwave, but else just keep farming. Because I think they're comfortable taking this late game. Kraken and the Hellbringer are strong and teamfight heroes, and they can definitely hold their base if complexity pushes with that Oogie. So as the further the game goes on, I would definitely benefit or say that Sync comes out ahead if it's even, after 30 minutes or something, even 40. So they have to look for kills with Tundra Bird. But they're doing a good job of dodging. Also, the wolves from Slab is keeping them safe all around the map, scouting out the positions of the Hellborn. So it's definitely not that easy, even though you have that bird to help you.
So I'm trying to get more comments. Since we're on a pause here now, I can talk about more a little bit. But again, the icon changed. So without it being in the patch notes, it's hard to say for sure. I don't know, again, if they just accidentally left that out, or maybe that was just intended. And maybe the change was that it still has the same effect, but it's now only one charge instead of 2 charges. Because I honestly can't remember if it was 10 health and 20 mana regen before for each charge. So I'd have to...
I can't either.
Or not, that's not what the charge would be. I'm sorry. It'd be... Wait, so each charge grants 1 health regen and 20% mana regeneration. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if those were the same numbers as it was before.
I would say, I'm pretty sure 20% mana regeneration is a lot. So if you got 40% from 1 kill, if you got 3, you had like double.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot. So I don't think.
Sounds like they just combined it.
Yeah, I think so too. That's my guess at least.
Warby's caught here, by the way, coming out of the pause. Wow, immediately out of the pause. They find him and get the easy kill, so good catch from Complexity there. Using that Portakia Tundra.
Yep.
Now got, obviously, a good find there. But yeah, I mean, so that makes a little more sense then. I still think that is kind of a... I don't even know if that's really a nerf, though, anymore, actually. Because I was trying to think about, like, the death and halves of the charges, but if that really matters, though, so... Yeah, whatever. I guess we can kind of call it pretty similar then if that's the case, but... they're going to group up here. Warby's dead, why not? That's a tower push. At least they're going to try for it.
9 more seconds until he's up, so they could fight this, except they don't have the Malphas yet. So they might give this up. I'm not sure if they used invulnerability yet, but else they could, maybe try and buy the time for Malphas. Kraken is sitting top though, so it looks like they won't fight. Oh, he's TPing in though.
Yeah. He's coming, ready to fight here. So we see Sync is setting up to defend. The tower currently about a third of its life or so, a little bit less, fourth of its life even. Kraken, he's got that portal key looking for a chance. He's going to be found by Glacius off to the side, puts out a ward sight behind the tower. There's going to be some good vision for Complexity to use here. And secure the tower kill. There we go, tower goes down, so Complexity, that is the last outer tower now. Good in their favor at 23 minutes in here.
I would say I'm a bit surprised that they actually considered taking that fight, because they're doing fine just farming, I think. Just keep farming, and then eventually they might find a pickoff on someone. Where they can stand with ulti in and Kraken can charge to ulti him and they can get a kill like that.
See Madman just doing some Ancients in the meantime and sealing the Legion Ancients even. So again, the resource control looking pretty good for Complexity right here. 8,200 gold lead, 3,500 experience lead. We got Formless just getting that sheep stick delivered, has the token for another 20 seconds, so probably not going to be able to use it right here. It looks like, and in the end, going to start falling back and have to wait for yet another token most likely. So it's been somewhat of a passive game, but that definitely is thanks to Sync. Again, they've been the ones avoiding here, which again goes back to making sense with what they have. They've got a Shrunken Head in the works on Warbeast. It looks like Haxorin maybe going his own Shrunken Head here against an Oogie, always a great pickup to have. So they want a lot more time here before they're comfortable.
For sure. I will say that they have to establish some kind of map control, else they're just getting far ahead. The last minute and a half, they went from 8k to 9.5k gold swing here. But that's because they've been sitting in their base here, trying to slowly re-establish it now here. Warby's moving mid, Senrith moving bottom, pushing it out now, so they have to make sure that they at least control 40 to 50% of one side of the map here. That they have to. Which is definitely easier said than done against the Tundra Hawk, so... It's gonna be a little bit rough with that.
Yeah.
But the lead is growing in favor of complexity. So that's interesting, even though I'm saying that it's fine dodging.
You see Tempest up here, or down here even, is going to defend this bottom push that's happening. Just the creep wave, though. So, should be able to hold this. And get some more farm himself. He, too, is trying to finish that Shrunken Head, but as we stressed earlier, it's still have a couple of pretty powerful ways to stop him, even if he has it, the Hellbringer and the Kraken. So, okay, goes back to not being an easy game for him to land any big ultimates here. Oogie, I want to say he must have bought something else, because he just got the Sheepstick a couple minutes ago, and now he has only 200 gold, so didn't see what it was, but build up perhaps to something else. He's still on the Ring of the Teacher. Again, I am a little surprised. I thought Gnome's Wisdom was actually going to be a pretty powerful item on him, but for whatever reason.
I am too. It is really good. It was before, and it's even better now, so...
That was the other thing, though. Again, I know that this is still a new patch for you, but just doing some theory crafting, it's like the Grimoire. We were talking a lot about that in the last series with the Doctor, and sure enough, Balthazar ended up going for it. I wonder if Oogie could possibly be a hero that could find it interesting.
I would assume it works like every time the W, deals that 136 damage it's doing right now, then you get that extra damage onto your next auto attack for the mana it costs. So I think it could be pretty good. I would assume that because Gnome's Wisdom heals you every time that W goes off, for instance. So I think it works on him. Compared to something like a Torture Ultimate, where the Gnome's Wisdom doesn't proc on that, only the initial 100 you use on that, even though you lose mana over time, all the time. Then Gnomes doesn't really work with that, but it does with the W from Oogie here. It's an interesting mechanics, for instance, but that's what makes me think that the Grimoire should also work, even though I haven't tried it.
Yeah, no, again, that would make sense here. So, and if that is the case, then yeah, it seems like it could potentially be a good item on him. So, yeah, Oogie definitely found this patch, I'm sure, pretty interesting. With the Jade Spire to the Ultor's heavy play, you could argue. It's going to be interesting to see if he finds it useful. We're talking about the Grimoire, so very interesting patch. Hell, I wonder Bloodborne.
This bird up here.
Oh yeah, Shiver. It's going to see a Luna at least. Can they get Kraken? No, they can't. They are going to get a Luna though.
Glacius was close, but no cigar there.
But yeah, I was almost joking a little bit. Bloodborne Maul. I wonder. But that's... he's not really a crazy auto-attack hero, I guess, so Bloodborne Maul seems like it would be a little bit of a waste.
Yeah, possibly. Then it would be fine if you gain mana then.
They jump Warbeast, by the way, and even in the Shrunken, the Avalanche course going through. Is it enough, though? No! Tempest was just out of range. And Warbeast's going to be able to sprint away in the ultimate form. Madman trying to keep him pursuit so close. Barrel roll just in time. There goes the ultimate form, going to wear off for Warbeast. He knows he's in trouble. Madman, can he find him? He can, and that should be a kill. Down goes Lap. Fuzzy Sloth chases all the way. Meanwhile, over here, they also pick off Kraken, who was nearby trying to perhaps help his teammate. So the chase ends up very successful for Complexity as they get 2 hero kills, especially in a game that's been pretty passive. Those are even that much more important here.
Yeah. I gotta credit Complexity for this. It seems like whenever we play against them and we have the Tundra and stuff, it's just so hard to find kills. But like they would play the Sandwave lineup, and every time we try to go for something, all of a sudden there's 5 heroes. We only have 3 there or something, and it's so hard to kill them. And this time they have that situation, and they're managing to find these kills.
Yeah.
So really good job from them.
Credit to them for sure. And again, they're definitely the team right now that they're on top. I mean, again, being 3 out of the 5 cycle champions, including the most recent one. They're clearly continuing that here into cycle 6 now. So they're the ones with momentum, doing pretty good, and they're looking for kills here at the top lane. They're going to get at least one on the Hellbringer, most likely. He does have Malphus, but there's no way he's going to get a chance to cast it. So he goes down. Aluna was off to the side. She will live, but they just kind of walk up and find a kill. This Sheepstick's doing work here for Oogie.
As I said before, I also like what they're doing. If we look at the map, there's like, okay, Madman's farming bottom right now, but like no neutral camp has been killed on their side. Like sometimes they do this where they group up and then they use the next minute and a half or something to try and find these kills only, and we don't farm. I think it's a really good strategy, honestly, because people don't expect it. So you've been farming for what, 25 minutes only, and then all of a sudden you try and you group up, you ignore the farm, and then you go for some kills. And it definitely pays off here.
You see Tundra, he's got that haste rune. He's coming down to the bottom lane, going to run past a ward of sight. He's ready to jump in now. He's going to get hit first by the Desert's Curse, but he goes in, pops a Shrunken, combos on a Kraken, who couldn't even react. Again, the Sheep Stick, this time onto a Luna. That's another kill. I mean, Complexity just runs up and just takes people out. Sync just can't even do anything about it. And actually, Samwraith, though, he's looking for a kill. He will get it on a Glacius there. Now, interesting here, Samwraith actually has his Mock currently turned off. I'm not sure what that was about, but he's going to pour it back right there. But
he had it on when he ultied. I think he was hiding down below, I think. Yeah.
I guess when you're
but
hiding,
Glacius as the sole victim here for Kraken and the Luna, so not too bad, but still in favor of Complexity for sure. And now they go for Conqueror as a result. It's going to be really rough for Sync here.
Yeah, Complexity clearly is continuing to be very comfortable here as this game progresses on, and we know we've seen many of times that Oogie, especially in the hands of Formless, he is a scary player-hero combination to go up against. So another 1,800 gold saved up. He did finish that Shrunken. There's the Gnome's Wisdom, so a lot later than expected, but he does eventually get it, and again, I wouldn't be surprised to see the upgrade into the Jade Spire even.
Yeah. Well, I will say that to his defense that they don't want to try and kill him. It's really hard for them, and Gnome's Wisdom, all it really does is keep you alive. So, Sandwich was caught too by
yeah, he did not have Shrunken, and that proved to be the difference. If he had Shrunken there, he very likely ports out. He didn't have it though. And I mean, we've seen that happen like 4 or 5 times this game, I feel like, where Oogie like literally walks up to somebody, sheeps him, and then kills them.
Yeah.
And it's important targets too.
20. Yeah, it is. It does so much damage. Sandwich is a squishy hero, if you can catch him before he uses his Shrunken, of course. Warby's not so much, but man, they're looking so good here. And DD Madman. Warby's just ran past it up on the top rune, and now Madman has it, so...
This tower here, it's dropping pretty quickly. Seafield Rot from Kraken. He's looking for an opening, but this is very likely going to be the melee Rex. He does, yeah. Haxorn does. No Mirage, though. There we go, Kraken. He misses the stun. Or maybe that was the... I don't know. No, he just simply missed that, didn't he, on Oogie, so... Yeah, he goes down, and melee Rack's going to fall. You see the jump on a Hellbringer, too. He has Malphus, but he's not going to be able to use it again. The Oscar's been doing great on Tundra, man. His jumps here with the Avalanche have been huge. Finally, Malphus comes out. Obviously, you see the buyback here. Complexity diving a little far, but look at Oogie. The Primal Surge is up. He's healing up quite a bit, dealing damage at the same time. That's just what he does, damn it. Aluna goes down. Samwraith gonna fall. You cannot stop this Oogie. It's a hat trick for Formless. He even has the token on top. And in the background, Samwraith does get the kill onto Madman. Tundra also dead. He's chasing for more. He's got that Mock of Brilliance, but now he's going to be sheeped. And he is going to die. He did end up killing Tempest, but he goes down. A quad kill to Oogie. And you even see the Voticacy coming out. They know it's just too much here. GG, well played. Game 1 will go to Complexity over Sync Esports here near.
Yep. It's well played. I mean, they found them everywhere. They kept them on their side of the map, controlled most of it, and outfarmed them even. So, I mean, they made it work. It's well played. They utilized that Tundra Bird and got pickoffs everywhere until they hit a point where they were just stronger than Sync and could push the base. Because on paper, if this is kind of an even game, it's really hard for them to do, especially against the Hellbringer and Kraken ulti.
Yeah.
With Sandrift and Warbeast pounding in auto attacks and doing damage. So nice play from them, and yeah, looking forward to next.